Welcome to this special post-election analysis. I'm Tony Perkins, president of the Family Research Council. Well, voters sent a strong message via the Republican Express on Election Day. But what was that message? Was it a message of support for Republicans or a repudiation of the failed policies of the Obama administration? Who voted and who didn't? What were the driving issues? Will liberals now retreat from their fictitious war on women? And how do Republicans secure this new majority and pave the way for the GOP to take the White House in 2016? What can we expect from this new congressional majority? We'll take a look at these issues and more as we hear from former Congresswoman Marilyn Musgrave, CNS News' Terry Jeffrey, FRC Action's Josh Duggar, Senator-elect James Lankford of Oklahoma, Representative-elect Barry Loudermilk, House Majority Whip Steve Scalise, along with FRC's Kana Gonzalez, David Christensen, and Ken Blackwell. A lot of ground to cover, but to get us started is Susan B. Anthony List, VP of Government Affairs, and former Colorado Congresswoman Marilyn Musgrave. Marilyn, welcome to the program today.
It's a happy day for us, a great day for pro-lifers.
It is very significant when you look at who won last night, especially starting with the Senate races across the country. The life issue won.
The life issue won. You saw Democrats running away from the issue. You saw incumbents like Pryor talking about his faith but not talking about abortion. You saw Mary Landrieu appealing to Catholics but not talking about abortion. You saw Orman in Kansas literally running away from the issue. We didn't have any gaffes with our pro-life candidates, so it was a wonderful night. So encouraging, again, very different than 2 years ago.
Well, I want to drill down on that a little bit because it wasn't just candidates who hold pro-life positions, but it was candidates who embraced pro-life convictions, who actually talked about their stand for the unborn. So this idea that the life issue is a political liability should be put to rest based upon the results of the election.
I couldn't agree more. We mobilized our people on no taxpayer funding of abortion. We mobilized our people on banning late-term abortion. Our candidates talked about the issue. They handled it very well, and the rewards are going to be great as we go forward.
I think that's significant when you talk about they talked about the issue. We actually saw an uptick in the evangelical, which would be the social conservative turnout in the election, coming up in about 20, some of the exit polling shows them at 26% of the total electorate in yesterday's election. They have to be able to connect with the candidates. And so if the candidates don't talk about the issues, that's where that deficit has been.
That's so true. They have to be enthusiastic about getting out there and supporting our pro-life candidates. They also have to know the real record of people like Mary Landrieu. They have to know Pryor's record on abortion. So we got that word out. We mobilized our people, and now they're going to have to deliver to keep those voters engaged.
Mm-hmm. That's the key point, deliver. Because I do believe that in large part, I'm going to talk with Terry Jeffrey about this momentarily, the message coming from voters was not so much an embracing of a GOP vision, but a denouncing of the policies of this administration, which have been pro-abortion, anti-family, anti-faith. But in order to keep that confidence and secure it, the Republicans will have to deliver.
They'll have to deliver. They'll have to set the stage for 2016. And of course, our highest legislative priority is the 20-week ban. The American people are with us. Women are with us in higher numbers even than men. So we hope that this new majority will deliver. We hope we keep this momentum going into 2016.
So let's talk about what are your top three legislative objectives?
Well, number one, again, is the 20-week ban, no taxpayer funding of abortion, transparency in all of this Obamacare, conscience protection. Those are the things that we will be working on. And I think we're going to have some great allies in the United States Senate. It is a new day. It's very encouraging.
And these measures have passed out of the House and have been over in the Senate now for some up to 4 years. So now it's just a question of getting them out of the Senate onto the president's desk.
Yes, and we have a commitment from our new majority leader that he's going to bring this to a vote in the United States Senate. We have commitments from the seats that were flipped. We have commitments from those people that won last night. So we're in there for the long haul. We want to see this signed into law. We want to see lives saved.
Congresswoman, let me ask you one final question on this. War on women that we've heard over and over. In fact, Republicans would almost run scared when that would be brought up. It appears that I would think the liberals would be retreating from that fictitious war on women after last night's results.
Well, I'm from Colorado. Boy, is there a better example anywhere than Colorado, where Mark Udall thought that abortion was his ticket to ride, going after Cory Gardner in that race. And Udall was ahead early on. It tightened up a little bit, but it was supposed to be too close to call. Cory Gardner won handily. Mark Udall's war on women, with abortion as the cornerstone of that argument, failed.
Going forward, a lot of folks turned out in the elections, they got involved, they voted, but really the work just begins. The citizens, the pro-lifers across the country are going to have to stay engaged.
That is so true. I think our elected officials, the new majority, particularly in the Senate, needs to know the expectations of the people around this country. We, social conservatives, need to send a strong message that we expect late-term abortion to be banned. We say no taxpayer dollars for abortions. So the work has begun. They're our elected officials. They need to hear from us. The grassroots gave these guys their victories, and we need to stay engaged.
How, and I'm asking you as a former member of Congress who was responsive to your constituents, how best can people communicate these issues, this desire for them to move forward? How can they best communicate that?
There are many ways possible to do it now. Emails, phone calls, show up at meetings when your congressman is in town. Let your voice be heard. Support organizations that give your message to these people, that keep them accountable. Believe me, elected officials do respond to their constituents. Let them know what your expectations are and make them live up to it.
Bottom line is stay engaged.
Absolutely.
Marilyn, thanks so much for being with us.
It's great to be with you.
And
thanks for all you do.
congratulations to
Congratulations to you too.
SBA.
Thank
great.
you.
Thanks. Good to see you.